So each week, I highlight a phenomenal woman who is making an impact on the community, breaking barriers, or inspiring others. This week will be no different. We are going to talk about the Olympic boxing champion, Imane Khelif. I really hope I'm getting her name right. I was looking to see, I hope it's not Iman with an E, but anyway, Imane Khelif, come to the front of the congregation. You are the phenomenal woman of this week. Do you guys remember all of the woo-ha, the uproar during this summer's Olympics when Imani, I think it was even like in the qualification rounds, she's an Algerian boxer. She knocked out did she even knock she won. Let's just say she won her boxing match against the Italian boxer, and then a few like within like a minute, like 46 seconds, knocked the Italian one out. One obviously moved on with her day, but that same day or the following day, the Italian boxer had a press conference and said and complained about being hit too hard. Yeah, this is who we're talking about. Firstly, that story was crazy because you're a boxer. Don't you anticipate that you're going to be hit hard? Anyway, that's not even my own business. But then came the insinuation that Imani Khalif was a man. And that's where the all the uproar came from. So what ensued after this round, and what was also awful is that Imani Khalif is still having to box because she's making it through the rounds of the Olympics. She's having to box with all this drama around her, swirling around that she is transgender, that she was born a man, that she has XY chromosomes, that she shouldn't be competing anyway. To the point where Trump commented on it, the story, JK Rowling commented on the story. It was huge on every social media platform. The news were talking about it. I think the Olympic Committee put out a statement. It was huge. There was so much going on. Even there was even interviews. This is what really annoyed me. There were interviews of her family. So somebody went and interviewed her family, and her dad did an interview where he was showing the whoever it was pictures of her as a little girl, and I just thought, this is awful. You're taking just because she boxed well, she knocked someone down in 46 seconds. Now her gender's being questioned when there had been questions in the past, but there was no merit to it. Anyway, she carried on. She won the gold medal. And that's what you do in the face of pressure. Imani said, yeah, all right, and continued to box every round, and she won. And the Italian boxer apologized after it was proven that she's not transgender, that she's not intersex, that she doesn't have I'm not sure if she has higher testosterone, but sometimes women do have higher testosterone. Let's look at like PCOS and other conditions like that. But she wasn't any of the things she had been labeled as, because an Italian boxer got knocked out and cried and got upset. So she's a phenomenal woman because she powered through. She didn't let pressure, take her down. She literally has gone on to sue. I'm sure she is now suing JK Rowling, and she's suing somebody else who, again, for defamation, because they were on social media just chatting about her. And since she has put the lawsuit out, let me just check. Since she's put the lawsuit out, everyone's gone very quiet. Haven't heard much from JK. Haven't heard much about Imane Khelif. Everyone has her name very firmly out of their mouths, which I love and which is so good for her. And the reason why I'm nominating her as a phenomenal woman for this week's episode is because I see her in Vogue at let me just check, at Milan Fashion Week, at the Bottega Veneta front row, in her yellow, in her orange, looking lovely. Swagger. One thing I'll say about Imane Khelif, this woman has swag. I was like, oh, she looks great. She looks comfortable. She's there with the stars. This Vogue article, so I'm reading from British Vogue, talks about the Olympic boxing champion from Algeria was joined by Kendall Jenner. You know, was joined by Julianne Moore. She's on the front row, just living her best life. Whereas those who wrongly mislabeled, I don't even know where the Italian boxer is. Maybe she's still crying somewhere. Those who labeled her transgender, those who labeled her a man, those who questioned her gender, those who made this whole Olympics really hard for her, are not at the front row of the Bottega Veneta fashion show. And I love to see it. So this week's, I'll just even read a bit more. So Khalifa, Imane Khelif, her first foray into high fashion, the gold medalist she wore a Bottega Veneta Autumn Winter 2024 collection, donning a mustard button-up shacket. What's a shacket? Anyway, mustard button-up shacket and black leather trousers. She looks great. I hope Imane gets everything coming her way. I hope that all the people who have questioned her remain silent, and I hope she comes back for the next Olympics and wins another gold. She is most definitely this week's phenomenal woman. If you would like to nominate a phenomenal woman for this section of the podcast, because I love to hear all about them, I love to read the stories, I love to know what's going on, you can drop me an email to what email address should I give you? Jordan at thepwclub.com, or tag or mention them in a comment below on my IG or TikTok pages, and I will have a look, because I am always looking for a phenomenal woman to highlight in these episodes. So let me know.